there, my name is Miss Woody and I will be your student's IB, Visual Arts, or Portfolio teacher. I have a Bachelor of Science in Education at CMSU, a Master's in Education from Baker, and I continue to take art classes at the Art Institute along with UCM courses. This summer I took 2 incredible courses at the Art Institute over painting and abstract art, and I just got fueled, excited to start teaching again. And I also took some courses over dyslexia and leadership, so I just always love learning and taking courses. I have 4 kids, ages 8, and 12, and they all attend Lee Summit schools, so I'm right there with you parents with sending kids to home to learn or at school, whatever's going on nowadays. But we're all doing this together, you know. I have my spouse works at a science laboratory, and so him and I have talked around about the world's problems right now. I settle that art is the way to solve the problems. I grew up in Lee Summit and graduated from Lee Summit High School. So I have been in Lee Summit pretty much my whole life. Family has kept me grounded here, and I have just really enjoyed raising my own family here. So I have taught for 16 years. I started with a Park Hill long-term sub job, and then I taught at Lee Summit High for 14 years. And then I came over here, and I've been teaching here. This will be my 2nd year. My hobbies include anything adventurous and challenging. Those are the things that keep me going, keep my brain going, and that I enjoy. So my family is great. They move along with me and take on my challenges and my adventures with me. I have lots of pets. They also go everywhere with me, and you know, I really enjoyed being home with them. I'm kind of missing them right now, but I'll get more time with them. I have contact info here, so you guys, if you need me, this is my contact info. I'm going to say pay attention to these A and B day schedules. The next slide is going to show that a little bit more. So what we have here is A day, B day, and Wednesday. We've got A day is hours 1, 3, 5, and 7. B day is hours 2, 4, and 6, and Wednesday. You're going to notice a lot of tutoring time. It says teacher prep, but it's tutoring time as well. So one thing as a teacher for 16 years is I've always wanted students to have more time to work, more time to ask questions. They don't always ask questions in groups of 30, so this is a great time that students can get some extra help or maybe even come in and get some supplies if it's allowed. You know, there's on Wednesdays, I know that there's some student check-ins, so I'm hoping that means maybe also connecting, making sure students are doing well, educationally and mentally. So keep up with your learners at home. We've got to do this together. Down here is the hybrid schedule. This hybrid schedule is something that we're not going to pay attention to because we're not there yet. We have a calendar here, 8A, B day, AB, AB, AB. Right up here we have meet the schedule. So we've got every class meeting on that very first day of school. Some expectations of learners through online learning. Please take a moment and read over that. You could pause this, read it, or it's on the website. This is going to be something that I use as a portal for information. I will use PowerSchool and Schoology. Schoology will be our weekly agendas and our turn-ins and our due dates, but this will be a hub of information. So let me show you what it is. You may know, you may have created one for your own work. I have no idea. I feel like a game designer with it all, and it's not a comfortable feeling. Again, I like adventures and challenges, but this has been a tough one. So right here are the course syllabuses. We'll click on one. This course is combined with 4 courses. Just so you know, we have dual credit options. Very important for you to be paying attention to. Those due dates have approached. April Marquez and Guidance can help you. I did send out email information earlier in the spring with this information. So Portfolio 1, Portfolio 2, IB SL and IB HL. The differences between those, well, there's a lot. But also they're all worth dual credit, or you can get the IB credit. So paying Paying attention to that dual credit stuff is going to be important if you want to take advantage of it. No pressure, but it is an option and a benefit of taking the course. The course does require keeping up with a lot. This course, at this point, the learners have built a portfolio and now are trying to build a portfolio for admission to a school is the goal, or to get that IB credit. So if you click on these different areas, it'll take you to, like, for example, a color palette or a calendar. So different links will take you to different things, which I think is really fun. So moving on, art supplies. I'll be sending home some art supplies, not necessarily this set, but I'll be sending home some art supplies. You will also have to help your learner get some art supplies or collect stuff from around the house. Students will make projects focused on what they want to create, so they will be doing research and coming up with a list of supplies that they need. That is not going to be a whole class need, that'll be an individual student need. We have to work together as a partnership, so us all working together, student, parent, and teacher, is going to be really, really important, especially keeping up with due dates and timelines. Right over here, these are the sections of things that make the class, a studio class. How do I grade? Well, we grade on projects and skill activities. We grade on dialogue and discussion of work, providing feedback, critiques. At this level, critiques are very important. Discussing the work, defending the choices, artistic choices of the work, describing the work and why the decisions were made for that piece, and then being open-minded, willing to make adjustments and modifications based on feedback. Research workbook is going to be very, very important. And with this course, once again, research is huge. IB or portfolio will have different levels of research, but they both need a workbook. You'll need one bigger than this. You'll need to look at something that is a full page. This is my small one that I take in the car with me. But I just want to show you what this would look like. A research workbook would be sketches. It's going to be experimentations of media with notes. It's going to be visiting art galleries, making little things with flyers and handouts, information about gallery visits and researching art, making notes about art, documenting why that artist is important. Students will have to select 2 art pieces to research, artists, contemporary, historical, meld them together. So you have, let's say, Frida Kahlo and Andy Warhol, and you're taking those 2 artists, you're researching them, you're creating sketches, and you're researching them in your workbook, giving your own idea of what their work is, and you're melding them together. A Frida Kahlo with an Andy Warhol, pop art Frida Kahlo. Think of it, all right? Maybe you don't even do it with paint, you do it with printmaking, or you take Andy Warhol's style and you paint it in Frida Kahlo's methods with different things. So there's lots of ways to work with this, but the exploration process is huge. The workbook is huge, 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 huge. The research, students have to be willing to participate in research. They have to be willing to investigate. They have to be willing to explore so that they can create a piece of work that defends their decisions. My late policy, by this point, students have dealt with this late policy. Please read it and review it. It's very, very important. There's a difference between daily work and projects and how things are graded. Okay, so please pay attention to that, and any late work would need to be turned in right here on this form. But make sure students are aware. Okay, major class projects are much different than daily work. Okay, daily work is, hey, we're going to do 5 sketches today, or I want you to turn in 2 sketches in your sketchbook and 1 art history page by Friday. That's daily work. A project is a project based on those artists, Frida Kahlo and Andy Warhol, melding it together, creating a large-scale painting, and turning that in. That is different than daily work. Online success for your learner. is really, really important. I have 4 learners at home. They're going to be learning virtually as well. And so we have some issues. I guess my little ones are going to go to school, but we have some issues. We have to help our learners. I will do my best to help your learners. You need to do your best to help your learners as well, just like I have to help mine. So setting goals, writing out schedules, doing your research. I want to tell you that writing out schedule, I was not a part of Schoology and Power School. I know I'm a teacher, but as a parent, I didn't connect until the spring. I was watching my kids get done with their work at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I needed to do my work, and I was like, what is going on? You guys where's your work at? I asked technology to help me log in. I then wrote a Post-it note of what my kids needed to achieve during that day. I added a couple extra things in there to help them make sure they were doing it right. I added in breaks, a lunch break, an outside playtime break. I had them check off that list to make sure they could do their own thing after that. But I also made sure that they had a schedule and were taking time to do what they needed to do. This right here is all about our course. Portfolio IB, this is it. Getting involved in discussions, engaging with the instructor, engaging together, revisit old material. Be a successful learner by doing those things and participating in the class. Make sure that your learner is participating. Get out there, visit galleries, art exhibits, museums, visit them together online or try to go in person. But those visits are really, really important. We usually take field trips. We can't do that right now. But those visits play a huge part in our students' inspirations and drive and understanding about art. We can look at Monet's piece in a book or online on a picture like this, but when you go to the art museum there, you'll see Monet's piece as a wall. You have to sit on a bench to interpret it. You have to sit on a bench to soak it in and just look at it. Look at the paint dabs, look at the color mixing, look at the layering. You have to sit there and see it in person to really understand it. So getting out there, having those conversations with your learner is huge, because that conversation that you have with your learner, those brave conversations of, hey, what does this mean? Why is this art? Why did the artist make it? What was going on in culture and society at the time that made this artist make this piece? And did society accept it or deny it? Have those conversations, because those conversations come back to our classroom and build conversation going in our classroom. It makes those conversations powerful and rewarding when students go and reflect in their research workbook and then go to make a piece of artwork. They're thinking about those conversations. They're acting those conversations out in their art media when they're creating artwork. So take your kiddos to those art museums. All right, lastly, as you can tell, I am passionate about art. You guys, I love art, and I love teaching. I grew up in this community. I feel like I play an important role in this community, helping raise kids. I raise my own kids in this community. And National Art Honor Society is another thing I help with. I sponsor this club. It's nationally recognized, and we get out there, we make art in the community, we inspire others through our art making, we share the joy of art with others. You can earn these graduation cords and graduation community service hours. It's a great way to get to know other kids. So National Art Honor Society is something that I encourage your learners to be a part of. And like I said, I'm very, very passionate about art. I love teaching. I have a lot of fun with it. And IB Portfolio is going to be a hard class. Okay, it's hard because it's a lot of self-directed art. Whereas if you look at Drawing 1, it's a lot of modeling, make a project, draw a sketch, do this, do that. IB Portfolio is a class where the students are doing their own choice research. They're choosing their artists. They're researching. They're creating their own ideas, and they're documenting their ideas, their thoughts, their sketches, their media in their workbook to then make it happen on their large canvas, okay, or their paper. You're going to have a supply list that comes out of nowhere. That's normal for students to have to say, hey, I need to go get this tonight. Hopefully they can plan ahead. That's what the research workbook is for, to help experiment ideas, come up with, hey, you know what do I want to use for that project? So if you have any